I'm from a small town in North Carolina up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Actually, it's so small that we only have one traffic light and not a lot of restaurants around there when I was growing up, so there wasn't a lot to do except play sports and play music. And I was lucky enough to be in a family that music was really the core of what we did in our extra time. My dad would actually come home on Thursdays, and I'll never forget it. He'd get paid, and he'd go buy a record and come in and have my brother and I to learn the music. And then a couple weeks later, he'd have my brother and I actually put a show on for my mom and him and anybody else that had come over. So I've actually been entertaining people since I was 3 or 4 years old. My dad taught me how to play drums when I was really small, and then I started singing in church with my mom, which combined into a drummer slash backup singer for garage bands in elementary and junior high school. And then when I got into high school, I had to make a choice between sports and academics and then music because it took up so much time. And so I decided to try to get a scholarship in baseball, which I was able to do that from Montreat College. I went to college, got a marketing degree, and that's when some of my buddies took me to a karaoke club, which we didn't have back home. I didn't even know what karaoke was. And I got up and sang a song, and that's what really sparked the fire that inspired me to start singing again. And my girlfriend at the time was with us, and when I came off stage, I'll never forget, I looked at her and I was like, what? What's wrong? Because she had this kind of crazy look at me. And she looked at me and she said, I'm going to buy you a guitar, you're going to learn how to play it, and I'm going to take you to Nashville. And so she really inspired me to do something. Unfortunately, we broke up before I got the guitar, but I went on to buy a guitar and taught myself how to play guitar. At the end of 2003, when we was going to do the demo, I had to go out and pretty much put a band together to get in the studio and record. And we just basically handpicked certain players to come do that with me. And once we got into practice sessions going over the songs, we really felt this certain magic. And after the project was done, they decided that they would play and be my band, and it's just been an awesome experience from there. I absolutely love performing live. It's a natural high that you can't get anywhere. And it's one of the things that I love about music. Especially right now, we're going places that people have never seen us play, have never heard any of the music, and you get the crowd that is just so involved. And they're coming up to you after the shows, wanting autographs, wanting CDs, wanting to ask all kinds of questions about you. And that's really just, that's the thing that I love about doing it. Actually, the songs that I write have been experiences that I've lived. And either I've lived or friends and people around me have lived. And that's one of the things that I love about country music is if you really listen to the words, it's about life. And there's certain songs on the demo and CD that are very heartfelt, and you can hear those when you actually listen to the CD. But one of the most prideful songs that I have is the song called I Salute You. And it's because it's from a civilian standpoint to a soldier. And when I was sitting in my bedroom one night, I found myself really feeling guilty that here I was living in a free land and being able to play music and being able to share things with my family and friends, and never had really took on the actual thought process that someone had sacrificed their life and was actually sacrificing their lives now to give us what we have today. And so I thank the Lord every day that I could actually put those thoughts to paper and then take those words and put them to music, and that's how I came up with the song I Salute You.
And I salute you from the bottom of my heart for the honor you stand for and dedication
some of my highlights most definitely is being played on the radio. You know, as a kid, when you grow up, you always, even if you're in a garage band or you know, just in your bedroom playing music, you know, you always want to hear yourself on the radio. And this year that's been possible, and it was definitely a highlight of my life. John Boy and Billy had played I Salute You for all the soldiers across the nation. And the feeling from a songwriter standpoint, that had to be a huge highlight, because something that I had actually written for someone had got to hear that, and that's what really meant so much to me. Playing Atlanta Motor Speedway was definitely a dream come true. Being able to play on a stage and sound and lights that we had there for the production, I mean, that was just an awesome feeling. The way Country Crock had, you know, treated us from the time we got there, and all their support that they, you know, did, and Atlanta Motor Speedway with them putting the concert on. I mean, that has to make anybody feel great. But one of the biggest highlights that anybody could have is that when you go somewhere and you perform, is you have somebody to come up and tell you that you're going to be famous one day. That has to be a huge highlight, because I feel like if someone can come up to you and say that you, number one, you have the right music, number two is you entertain them, and number three is you connected with that person emotionally. And I think that that's one of the biggest things that you could ever have. Well, the future definitely holds a lot of things that we don't know about. But, you know, we are on God's schedule, and I've always believed in that. But I am going to get out there and continue to play our music for as many people as we can. We hope that we can get some sponsors so we can play the concerts for thousands of people and market their brands while we do that. The main thing is just getting out there and continuing to play great music, doing what we love, and entertaining people and touching lives.